In this video, I will discuss some of the best filters to use for trading, be it expert advisor, robo trading, or even manual trading. Stick around to the end to receive a free expert advisor that trades using some of these filters. To kick us off here, I will cover the broad categories of filters, which will be discussed in this video, including trend filters, volatility filters, news filters, spread filters, and time filters. And to preface, a filter can be defined as an element of a trading strategy which tells your expert advisor or yourself when it is an appropriate time to trade. So it's not the entry signal, which is a trigger. It's more another either indicator or set of criterion which tells you when is an appropriate time to trade. I can start us off here with trend filters. And there's really two different types of trend filters, be it more directional, so are we in a bull market or a bear market, uptrend, downtrend, or is it more just trending in general? The most obvious example here would be a moving average. One of the most critical elements which helped me when I was starting to trade was learning about the power of the 200 period EMA. Effectively, one of the easiest ways to improve your trading is to simply trade with the trend. The trend is your friend. And perhaps the easiest way to tell if we are in, generally speaking, an uptrend versus a downtrend is to look at a 200 period moving average. And especially if you ever trade a mean reversion system, something which will absolutely save you a ton of money is to only mean revert trade with the general trend. There are obviously exceptions to this, but specifically if you're doing some lower time frame mean reversion, that can be exceptionally useful. Moving on, we can move over to the ADX. And the ADX is quite interesting, as it doesn't necessarily tell you if you're in an uptrend or a downtrend. It's non-directional, so it will simply tell you, hey, the market is trending upwards or it's moving sideways. And this can be quite useful if you're looking to trade a more of either a breakout system or a trend following system, as if you're hoping to ride the trend, you might want to invalidate signals of when the market is simply not trending. So it's also perhaps a very useful tool in your arsenal. A less commonly used filter is also a slope filter. So you might remember high school math with y is equal to mx plus b, where you look for the slope in order to tell you the angle in which something is moving at. And the slope can be very useful when combined with the EMA because it can tell you the strength of a trend. So for instance, you can look at, are we above or below the EMA, and the distance to the EMA. That can definitely give you a trend strength indication. But one of the fastest to adapt is to simply take the slope of the EMA at different points in order to gauge the strength of the trend which you're in. So I would really recommend that when developing trading systems, you perhaps use some of these trend filters in order to tell you when it's best to take longs versus best to take shorts. And as a good rule of thumb, I typically like to take trades with trend. There are exceptions to this, but that is usually something you can do which will immediately improve your edge. We can now move on to volatility filters. Volatility filters can make an enormous difference in the profitability of your systems. Especially if you're trading breakout systems, the market needs to be moving for you to make money. And one of the easiest ways to quantify how the market is moving is to look at the ATR. The ATR, or average true range, looks at the range of the previous candles smoothed using a moving average. This can be hyper useful because it enables you to not trade during periods where the market is simply not moving. And conversely, you can also use it to detect when the market is not moving if you're trading perhaps a night scalper or a strategy where you're specifically looking to mean revert low periods of volatility. But ATR and conversely the daily range, which is a variety of this, can be hyper useful at determining when a system is best suited to trade, because some systems need volatility and some systems need the absence of volatility. We can now move to the simple news filter, and news filter, as the name would suggest, can help you either trade when high impact news is happening or specifically avoid high impact news. And the way that I typically implement this is to download a set of historical news values from FX Street. My FX book does not have this functionality as easily, and you are then able to effectively filter out periods where you might see large spikes. If you are ever trading any sort of grid-based or martingale-based strategy, which many expert advisors are based on, a news filter is going to be absolutely critical, because nothing can blow a grid faster than an enormous CPI candle, which triggers 6 levels at the same time. So this less relevant for breakout systems, as news can often actually be helpful. However, any sort of martingale or like exponential lot sizing based approach, this will be your best friend. So please keep it in mind. We can now move to spread filters. And this can be very, very helpful with scalping systems. So the spread can be defined as the difference between the bid and the ask. And it's very important when trading scalping systems with tight take profits and or stop losses that the spread is low. I've made a different video on this, but the reason why gold works so well for scalping systems is the spread versus the volatility is exceptional. The short version here is if your spread is too high, the price needs to move significantly greater than your take profit in order to actually take profit, and this will adversely affect both your risk reward and your win rate, rendering certain systems unprofitable. Therefore, in any sort of scalping system, it's often quite smart to put a spread filter in to say, hey, if you're currently in a particularly high spread environment, or if somebody is using a very high spread broker, this type of filter can tell you you might need to make some changes. So it can be super useful and it's exceptionally easy to implement. If you're doing this manually, just look at the bid-ask column in your MetaTrader terminal, and that should tell you effectively what spreads currently are at. And apologies my typo here, but this is actually time filters, not spread filters. And there's really two different types of, or time filter in general, there's two large use cases that I personally like to use. It's certain bots trade during very specific time windows, such as a night scalper, where you're specifically looking to trade the super low volatility hours using a mean reversion premise. Another large use case is to make session-specific trading strategies, such as the opening range breakout or the London breakout, which will specifically trade at very defined times, such as the New York Open or the London Open. So a time filter can be very helpful both at determining when certain market conditions may occur, or it could very well be the underlying premise behind the strategy, such as in the case of a New York Open or a London breakout. So that is our short video today on the various filters which can enormously transform your trading strategies. I would also welcome you to go and check out some of our bots here at Prosperity Algo Solutions. Our Golden Time Bomb bot is currently available for free, and as you can see, since the beginning of October to today, which is the 20th of October, we're up almost 11% in a live account while risking a very modest amount per trade. You're welcome to simply come to our WAP page, which is linked in the description, and pick up a free trial whenever you'd like. Thank you very much, take care, and have a great day.